Okay, we are at 7. So when we start this meeting. Thanks everybody for coming to Town Council Day on August 12th, 2025. I have asked Brad to lead us in the pledge of allegiance as soon as he's done pushing play or something on that. We'll get going at best.
Just trying to keep people from joining with on here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda for tonight's motion? Right.
A second.
By word, second by presenting any discussion. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes for July 8th, 2025 meetings? Motion made. By Wayne, or a second?
Yes, I do.
Second by Teresa. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the accounts payable and payroll for July?
That motion also.
I second. I didn't see anything I didn't understand.
Motion by Larissa, second by Teresa. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We as a town council have awarded the new position of clerk to Tracy Whitehead. Do I have a motion to appoint her as county clerk to this town?
I just that we.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
By Teresa, second by Wayne. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Congratulations, you're now officially the town clerk. Do we have any awards or public recognition?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I want to recognize the crew at the cemetery this summer. Cemetery looks good. They've done a good job, and I think they're to be commended for it.
Okay.
I have one.
Okay.
I think we should recognize Jody for many years she was here. I know she's still here right now, Sim, but she put a lot of time and effort into the town. I think we should recognize her for that.
I agree.
I agree.
The matter of information is somewhere north of 14 years, if I'm not mistaken. Whether she knows it or not, she's coming to the next council meeting. Whether you know it or not, you are too, Albert.
Good be gone.
Oh, you couldn't. I'll flatten all your tires.
You didn't hear that, did you? She.
It can help me.
So much for that.
Any other awards, recognition?
I just want to recognize our town guys. Larry and I have been up to the shooting range. And you guys are awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So I have a question. How are you going to keep the non-shooting people from filling that dumpster?
Taking it out.
Okay, thank you.
Charles is not here. He has some recognition laid out. So to all those who made the Pioneer Day celebration a success. And to Paul Edgeberry for organizing an excellent concert of Pine Creek ski area. As well as the beautification committee and the town staff for cleaning up the welcome sign. Any other ones that we need to list?
He just listed mine.
I think Paul also needs to be recognized for being the all-time National Ski Patrol and longest member of the National Ski. He's been in our area and he's been on Pine Creek for 42 years. It's a long time up there.
It's a long time looking at the same mountain.
And without him, we probably wouldn't have it, so. Be functional, so. He needs to be staying for that. And bring some money into the town.
So what is he now? He is,
He was nominated for the outstanding ski patrol and longest member, one of the longest members of the Wyoming National Ski Patrol members.
Go ahead, Jim.
I'd like to second Teresa's recognition of your city crew on the gun range. They've done an outstanding job. They're a jump ahead of us on that. And if you haven't seen it, go up and look. And also the concerns they had on Pearl Street, they cleaned that up. It looks really nice. So my hats off to the city crew. They really do on the ball.
Thank you. Anything else? Good. Any unfinished business we have on this? Any new business? And I might Kelly on the agenda, but he's not here. If he shows up, I will make time for him. Do we have any public comment? Dennis?
I was wondering if you could do something about making it no parking with horse trailers on the east side of the city park. I don't think the city crew needs to clean up all that mess, and I don't know who is, but I've been down there twice since the rodeos, and one time there was a bunch of people, I don't know where they were from down there with kids and kid place with the slides and all that. But all in front where everybody parks to have the picnics and that, there was horsemen everywhere. And of course, at that time, it was still wet. I'm sure it's dried up now. But I don't think the city needs to, crew has to go down and pick up all that horsemen. But if you just wouldn't let any horse trailers on the east side park from where the kiddie stuff is down to the toilets, just along that side, it'd be a big. I know there's not much parking around, but it sure makes a heck of a mess there. And people that want to use the park,
For
they pull right in there, they're parking their car right on top of where all them horses crap. It's
Is
a
it like
mess.
during the rodeo or what?
What?
Like during the rodeo or is it?
Yeah, the days of the rodeo, just don't let any horse trailers park on the east side. They can double park on the west side or do what they want, but. And that's only going to make the difference, maybe 4 trailers.
I have a comment on that if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, I mean, I'm somewhat in agreement. I noticed the day or two after, like as an example, there was I just think we need to ask them to make sure they clean up their manure. That's the main point, I think, is what they're wanting. Whether you have them parked there or not, but I know Mrs. Walker, right in front of all her grass, there was just poop everywhere. And I don't think she appreciated it. She's not gonna be one that's gonna come complain to us about it, but I think as a city or whatever, I don't know, I guess we just need to address the.
Well, I can tell you this, what the rodeo club sends out is that they ask that they respect the property owners that are around. Because we know that there's not enough parking. We ask that they keep horses off of people's property.
It's not going to work.
Well, then Dennis, this is what we can do. We can just not have the rodeo.
No, you can have the rodeo. All you gotta do is block off that one place along the park.
We don't have the parking. The parking is not available in town, around the rodeo grounds for the contestants that show up.
Sorry, the rodeo crew.
330 contestants showed up for the youth rodeo this year.
So as a rodeo commission, they give you $3,000, you're gonna appoint somebody to go clean it all up? I don't think the city has.
Yeah, Dennis, you can go clean it up.
One thing,
Right, guys.
You know, I think we're getting pretty nitpicky for one day a year.
Yeah. I honestly, this is my 2 cents on the matter. It's 2 days a year that we have something come to this town. And I'm gonna tell you this right now, and I'm speaking not as the mayor, I'm speaking as Colby Peck. That rodeo would not have happened this year if it weren't for my wife and myself.
I
At
know,
all, period.
I know that your crew all quit you,
Every one of them.
so and I appreciate what you did, and I talked to your wife about it.
For that matter, I can count on 1.5 hands the help that we got at last minute. And for that matter, the complaining, the whining, the bull crap that we put up with for the last month, I've had it up to here with. And I can tell you this right now. You guys want to nitpick and complain about something so little that you aren't willing to step up and help with? It doesn't have to happen. Period. Plain, simple. You guys want to complain, step up and help. You want to whine, step up and help. Otherwise, keep your mouth shut. I ain't gonna look out.
I don't.
Let's have this conversation.
It's got nothing.
Go up to the back.
Rodeo, and I'm just asking for an inspection. Or else you come up with a solution to take care of it. I don't think people coming in town are gonna walk through horse
If
crap.
we need some help, I'm more than happy to come shovel crap after. I mean, I can't be here to help with the rodeo, but I'm more than happy to help if we need it. If that's gonna help, we can get a lawnmower or something and we can, even the town beautification committee my wife's on, I'm sure we'd be more than happy to go to do it if that's,
Help Larry, he shoveled it.
well, I'm just saying if
Just
it
let us know.
it's something that we need in town. I think rodeo is a big boon to business in town and brings a lot of people. So we can, if we need some help, I'm more than happy to help.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks for coming with the solution, Mike. Elderly.
Well, I can remember for 30 years, putting over 1,000 head of cattle used to come from the west side right up this main street and go up Pine Creek every year for 3 or 4 days. There was manure up and down the roads and that. But them same people that drove them cows up to there donated to this community, donated to the rodeos, provided beef for the cookouts that they had here. And nobody was complaining then. We drove those manure for 3 or 4 days after that. I mean, 1,000 head of cattle used to come right across the tracks there and up this road and on people's lawns. And I can remember walking out there and standing in my gateway trying to keep them out of my yard and that, but it happens. There's people that got animals around here. What are we gonna do about the kids around Cokeville that's gonna ride the horses up Main Street or down one of them roads and poops on the road? We're gonna start demanding they clean that up? Come on, it's Cokeville. Wait, the big cities.
Any other comments, public comments?
I do want to thank Larry Lewis for being the pooper scooper after the parade. I appreciate it.
Good job, Larry.
And he's always there to help. Thank you, Larry.
I will agree with that. Larry is always there to help.
We used to have scouts that did that.
Yeah,
We don't have them still.
no.
They've changed.
Mike's here.
Mike, we skipped you on the business because you were not here yet.
Sorry, I was throwing.
So at this
Couches
time, I'd like to give you the limelight.
Okay. I guess, I don't know what, we wanna add on to our house on the back end. And then we wanted to put a shed or a storage unit on the place, and then we wanted to change it to residential ag as well. Where it's always been residential ag in name only, I guess we better make it official. So,
So I do have the building permit here. They kind of fall. Right. Let's go through this resolutions and ordinances. Mike's got the permits.
Okay.
Got a building permit for his addition to his house. 24 by 30, it looks like.
it's probably gonna be a swimming pool, you know, if we put a basement in there, but guess that's what we're doing.
You know, I don't think so, Mike. There's a basement in your house, you'd be getting your, you know, now.
That's
I don't
true.
think there's gonna be no problem there.
It makes me nervous being that close to river, but we'll see. I guess Tykerts and Pawnees, they all have a basement. I don't know. I haven't talked to them yet, so no issues ever.
The only one time we had an issue was when one of the city guys popped the thing in front and flooded the house, so, but not from the creek, even at high water. It never came over, and I don't think Jeremy, Jamie and Ryan have an issue.
So as far as the building permits and the shed building permit, the shed actually falls under that because it's bigger than what our shed falls under, but. And it looks like the zoning committee has put their stamp of approval on these two. It looks like they meet all the setbacks, everything's all right. Question, the answer goes down, not all there, taking motion to approve those two buildings. Like Kelly.
Make a motion to approve the two permits.
We have a second, motion by Wayne, second by Teresa. Any further discussion on the building permits?
So as far as like it's bigger than what we normally allow, is
No,
Good.
that what you said?
It's bigger than what is allowed to just sign off on
I
that.
see what you're saying. Okay, that's not my question.
So. Okay. Well, with that, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries. We also have the ordinance here, 25-07. The rezoning ordinance for their property. Dash is legal description of that property. Do I have a motion to approve that ordinance? The first reading, sorry.
I have them. 174.
What is it now?
it's residential.
Cause I can remember,
They've always had horses, but the map is from the 80s. And it says it's all residential back there. Everybody is.
He hasn't changed hands.
it's cause I can remember Roger, cause I used to go back there and shoot horses back there.
There's a lot of handshake deals that happen with that house, like where the garage was placed and an easement that's not there and a few other things, but
I believe handshake, I mean, so.
yeah.
But I make a motion to approve it on first reading.
On the second.
Motion by Wayne, second by Lisa. Any further discussions? It doesn't meet limits for residential ag. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Mike, you're 3 for 3.
So yeah,
Okay,
What was the animal in there, if you don't mind?
it's 2 per 0.75.
Yeah, one unit, which is 2 horses, 2 cows, 2 lawns.
That's what got approved, was that? That's what that was.
It's
5 chickens.
got some walnuts. Somebody's got a donkey over there. I kind of like hearing that every once in a while.
What?
Somebody's got a donkey near us. It's kind of fun to hear Brett. every once in a while.
That's Marge's grandfather then.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't mind it. It's kind of funny. The kids, it scares my daughter.
The mom's donkey.
You know,
It's the months.
Marge's donkey's dead.
Yeah, yeah, it's Pam's, she says, so.
We like you.
Okay. Report, we have resolution 25-04. I gave you a little explanation on this resolution, so. Currently, the court banks through BMO. BMO has taken a liberty on themselves to change our checking account and start charging us a fee, which is illegal in the state of Wyoming. It's a big corporate. Barb, the judge, and I have been on the phone with BMO trying to get this resolved. They are unwilling to change their way. As a result, we are no longer able to bank with them because it's in state law for us to pay fees with public funds. So we have to change bank accounts. In order to do that, we had to draft a resolution saying that we are going to change the bank account from municipal court from BMO to First Bank of Wyoming, which is where all of our other accounts are in simplified in Canada. So this resolution, I'll read it in full. Resolution number 25-04, resolution authorizing the transfer of municipal court bank account from BMO to First Bank of Wyoming. Whereas the town of Cokeville maintains a bank account for the municipal court to manage and safeguard court-related funds, and whereas the town council has determined it is in the best interest of the town to transfer municipal court account from BMO to First Bank of Wyoming for improved convenience services and banking efficiency. And whereas it is necessary to formally authorize the closure of the current account and the opening of a new account to ensure a smooth transition of funds and continued proper management of municipal court finances. Now therefore be it resolved by the governing body of the town of Cokeville, Wyoming, the municipal court bank account currently held at BMO shall be closed. 2, the new municipal court bank account shall be opened at the First Bank of Wyoming in the name of the town of Cokeville Municipal Court. 3, the municipal court clerk, municipal judge, town clerk / treasurer, and any other authorized signers as designated by the town shall be added as signatories to the new account. All funds from existing municipal court account at BMO shall be transferred to the new account at First Bank of Wyoming promptly upon account opening. 5, the mayor and town clerk are authorized to take any and all actions necessary to carry out the intent of this resolution. Passed, approved, and adopted this day of 2025, signed by the mayor and town clerk. Do I have a motion to agree?
I move that we approve this resolution to change those banks.
And by Teresa, do I have a second?
I second it.
Second by Brett. Any further discussion
When does it take place?
this month?
Okay.
It's gonna take some time to get everything transferred,
Right.
settled out, you look at to the new account.
Right.
All in favor?
I,
Aye. Motion carries. We have reports from officers, boards and committees. Councilman Nate.
As far as roads and everything. I talked with, yeah. Anyway, we don't have anything really going on there yet. I'm working on the map still. I've got a few of the roads highlighted. So I'm still doing that. As far as just passing that. The other thing is as far, something that was just brought to me. So the gentleman that is running the fencing equipment, there's an opportunity to get that stuff for free now. If that's something the town wants to do. To have that, I don't know if that's something that, even though that's used fencing and everything, if that could be something to help fence off part of the airport that's on the west side. To close that in. That could be
I didn't know it was something that wasn't closed down there.
Yeah, and part of the airport is closed in on the east side where they're getting all the dirt.
Where the pit is you're talking about.
Where the pit is, so
That's county.
That's Carroll. County's got the surface rights on that. Well, kind of a combination deal, but the county's got the responsibility on it. On the east side of the road.
I know, but we're still in charge of it. If we want to put a fence on it, I'm just saying there's equipment. You can get it at no cost. It's up to you to decide if you guys want it. We're just giving you the one.
I went out and looked at a few of those piles, those bundles.
They're not very good.
I won't waste my time going out and loading them up. There are some good in there, but the bad and far outweigh the good.
I would say it might not hurt us to go grab a bundle of them to have them laying there in case we need to fix a post at the Legion ground or around the sewer plant or something that gets knocked over or something, but
I think all they said we need is a truck and a trailer, they'll load it. But anyway, yeah. So other than that, really, I don't have anything on facilities.
okay. That all you have there?
That's all I have.
Councilman Lewis?
School is starting, that's a scary thought, but they are. And as far as economic development, I think you probably saw some stuff in your package about the lodging tax. That's more information to help us. And this is from, actually, it is the gentleman who sent it to me, his name's on back there, and Rudolph, and it, but Amy Larson, told me it would be best for me to get a hold of him, and he will tell us exactly what we need to be doing with that money and where it needs to be and who needs to be running it. And Amy Larson is a reasonable representative of the state travel and tourism board. So, and so that's what he sent me, is they'll just give us started thing. And there is a actual place where we can find that, you know, it's kind of like you got a whole book when you have Title 15, but it tells you in there where we can actually, what we can do and what kind of board has to be done for that. And so, and then I was told that the next go around, it looks like there's going to be another, what we would call it, the 6 penny. They're trying to get that on the ballot again, so that it can be beneficial to the economic growth of several communities if that goes through. So I think that's probably all of it. Yeah, I think so. But one thing they wanted to check on is that we are all aware of where the money is going when it does come. And the things that we can and cannot do with it. I guess Amy told me that there were some communities that started doing some infrastructure with it. Well, that's not what lodging tax is for. And so she said, so just so people know, even though they might already know. So, but and then there was some information going around South County here that some people were thinking that we needed to be part of a joint powers board with Cokeville, Kimmer, Diamondville, Opal, and LaBarge. But he said he would not recommend that, because when you become a part of something like that, you're just taking on the problems that other communities have. And right now, all the communities in Lincoln County are struggling just to do what they need to do. And so he suggested that we don't think about stuff like that, but it was something that had been brought up, so. And so the stuff that he said was just a jump start. Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Hey,
I guess you got, Mike, you got Greg all hooked up.
Great.
Well, we're waiting on him to get his pipe in the ground so we can finish hooking up the meter, but other than that,
Okay, and he's just got one line, right?
yeah.
Okay. Sewer, the plant's going all right, we did,
Yep.
we just wait for the skater.
Yeah,
Any word on it?
we met with them last Thursday, and so probably looking at mid-October should be complete.
Okay. Airport, it's just in limbo seconds, but, I do want to say, as far as. So Greg and, or Brad, I don't want to step on his toes or nothing, but your window period for, patching some streets is getting narrower and narrower all the time, so I see there's, you know, that road going out past Fred Roberts needs a little attention, and you should get your patching done before too long, or it's gonna just get cold. Your patching's not gonna work.
Yeah, we did talk about finishing up patching.
That's all I've got.
Mayor, remember that, ARPA funds, it's gotta be done by October, right? Isn't it October?
2026.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know, about a year.
yeah. The one we had the big war about,
Yeah.
yeah, was 2026.
Okay,
But yeah, good reminder.
I won't be here. So,
You got that, Tracy? 2026. ARPA funds.
It'll
I
be,
might as well speak Chinese right now, because I'm not sure what the ARPA fund is.
We can tell you.
I'll figure it out.
it'll be well used plenty of time before that. We have to close out.
We'll come in and discuss that with you.
Yeah, we will get it figured out. Okay, Councilman Davis not here. We already went over his planning and zoning. He did have a list of some stuff. He's still working on the website. We said it's live, but we tested it today. It's not, so there's something going on there we gotta fix.
It did update Cofield.net, but it didn't go to the .gov.
Right. Which I think that's probably just the setting we need to fix, but
So they have to get permission from domain.com in order to take away licensing of it, and I think that's where the hiccup is.
yeah, I think so too. I think it's just a setting. And permissions, granted permission. We've got some notes here, so there's some discussions with the hideout motel to possibly provide some basic groceries with guests and Cofield residents. We have some startup funding source that's been identified. I have to ask him a little more on that details, but. The chamber is looking to apply for a project manager or have a project manager. To help kind of do some planning for the community. But they wanted to kind of help that be in conjunction with the town's directions, so. I'd imagine in the near future, we'll have some more discussions on that. It's
The only problem I have with that is the chamber is not active.
when they're acting, but it's not in the kind of. Possibly.
They need to do that service.
He's well aware. That's why I said there's probably gonna be some more future discussions on those.
Okay, thank you.
He brought up the nuisance ordinance. He would like to hire a contract inspector to complete community audit and create a baseline from which the future enforcements would be based. We've already published the new ordinance multiple times in multiple places. How the council feels about hiring a contract inspector. Things don't matter.
I think a third party would be great.
And I don't think we need one.
I don't either.
I had a member of the community.
Yeah.
Take me around every house, every yard, every alley, every street. Remember when Rose asked me to do that? And literally every place that used to be a trailer park, every trailer, everything. And she wanted a percentage of how many residences, how many buildings. And it came up with the 15% of all of those places inside Cokeville town. More than met what we had on our nuisance ordinance. And then two, we didn't take pictures, but because I just had a Samsung phone, but if we could take pictures of these, the alleys, some of the from the front, some of the houses look super duper good, but you try and go down the alley and stuff there's overflowing and pushing fences and everything. And it's like I told Eric, if we ever have an emergency and the fire guys have to go down those, I'm not so sure they could even get down some of them. And so maybe it's something, at least we could have those pictures on file. This is what we started with. Nobody wants to be the Gestapo, but this is what we started with. And so that they say, what do I need to do? This is what we have. So
are you suggesting that we go take pictures of everybody's yards?
no, I think just the ones that are concerning it would be, I mean, somebody has to have a picture of beginning. So not everybody's, just the ones that are a concern.
Mike, aren't most of the alleys clear because you plow them winterly?
Yeah, but there's trees,
There needs to be definite trimming of
especially this one right here.
people's trees and property.
The trees are just overgrown in there. You can't hardly get a piece of them back there.
Raise that bucket and that
That's
bucket.
what I was just gonna say. Start driving. Some of us think too much alike and it ain't good. Personally, I have concerns with hiring a contract inspector based off of budget wise. I don't know how we would pay for it. That. That's something that we'd have to do some serious looking at. Ones, see what's available. If there's, where it will come from.
My only interest in having someone who's just someone's third party. We don't have people feel like they're specifically being picked out because someone knows somebody or whatever. That's mainly my biggest concern about it. I do think we do need to take some photos of the property, but I think like even what Lewis said, I mean, there are some obvious properties that any prudent person would say is in violation. And I think those are the properties we take photos of.
Right.
Because those are the ones that are probably eventually going to be having an issue with it. And I think you better have your T's crossed and your I's dotted.
Well, wasn't that the reason for this new ordinance?
Yes,
Correct.
So if you follow the ordinance, gives you all the right to do what you want. Whatever you put in the new ordinance,
And there's also what you can do in the court.
looking for somebody to take the fall. I mean, come on. You people put the ordinance in effect, back it up. But in other ways too, it's in our budget, affordable lawsuit. That's nothing real to be able to do, you know. So I don't think if we get into a lawsuit or something, we can't put that out there, I think.
Well, you guys have enough yards in the area. If you start finding them, you'll be all right. You'll make plenty of money to do it.
But while we're on this subject here, I've been approached by a few people, it's been talked about before. The old Amico station. There are some concerns about those 3 dead trees that are there. And I'm sure the beautification committee have looked at it. It is an eyesore. I think that's something we need to be in contact with the landowner and see what can be done. This as far as those tree, you know, the building. It's in bad shape too, but those old trees, they're dead and you know, just a wind can put them over, so.
I can talk to David about that.
So, I don't know if this is a good time for me to, because this is kind of, what we've been talking about. I have been planning on writing a letter to, because we're focusing on Highway 30, to all businesses and landowners along there. Just informing them of what we are trying to do, asking for their input and talking to them specifically about that. I'm sure you have already talked to them about nuisance ordinances and what you are trying to do there, but that is something we're planning on doing, is getting cooperation from all of them, their input, what they would like to see. So, but I have struggled with that because I don't know like what authority I have to do that. Like, I don't know if it's okay for me to do that. I'm just gonna kind of do it and then ask for forgiveness later if it wasn't, but,
Concerned citizen, you're all right.
yeah, yeah.
Is your
Not-
problem committee, that's.
Yes, and I just, I don't know where the line is there, but that is something we're planning, especially on Highway 30. Residential areas, we're gonna focus more on, I know Yard of the Month was something that we talked about. Several people have asked me about that, other communities have implemented that. So on the flip side, we're gonna focus on highlighting those that are doing a great job. So our hopes is that when we do highlight and provide education on how they're doing this stuff, that it may help on the flip side of those that aren't as beautiful. But anyway, then my other question is, when you do find them, would there be a way that we could allow some of that money to be put towards beautification? Because it's in the same vein that we take the money and do something with it that relates to beautification. Obviously, money is needed in lots of places, but that's just some food for thought that has been brought up, because obviously, as you mentioned, funding for these types of efforts were cut pretty drastically this last year. So those were some of the things that we've talked about.
I think it's something that the council could consider as long as the expenses that are associated with it are met first.
Okay. Yeah, if you're talking about lawsuits or storage containers or whatever else you're gonna have to deal with,
And that-
then that might be something your fines need to go towards, but, yeah, that's just something.
I'm gonna be flat out honest right here is. The nuisance ordinance shouldn't be something that we should be. Trying to enforce as a collection plate or a. Revenue generator.
It needs to be enforced though, is the problem. It
It does.
does have to be
Money
enforced.
talks.
This is like a.
So
Well, it's no different than the police department.
what really should be happening right now is people should have enough pride in their properties just to start doing it. Without us having to come in and say, hey, do this.
Sometimes though, it does take a little.
And I get that. I get that some people have to be persuaded to start or to do. But I do think that there are some instances where we will be, when we go to enforcement, we will be crossing into those legal battlegrounds with some people.
But
And as a matter of information, our lawyer costs $200 now, just so you guys know.
But that can be written into the lawsuit, that they cover your legal costs if, I mean, if it is written down, it is city ordinance. I mean, what battle do they have against you? You know what I mean?
Well, that's if a judge rules in your favor.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if it's black and white, this is what the ordinance is, you have pictures, you have documentation,
We should be,
you should be
it
fine.
should be ruled in our favor, but you never know how the judge is gonna sit.
Right?
So
What about as far as just a matter of billing in general? I mean, how's town as far as collections on like the sewer, power bill, things like that? I mean, are we turning a blind eye to some people? Are we collecting all of that? I mean, is there a way that you guys, cause I'll be honest with you, it's a pain in the butt that I have to write a check and bring it in versus, just put it online.
we're working on it.
But and I'm not, I mean, I'll do what I gotta do. That doesn't bother me. I mean, it's a nuisance, but it is something I understand that costs money and whatnot, and we don't have the budget, but where is the town at as far as collecting all of those? Is there, the perpetuals, and is somebody because every organization needs an alligator. I don't know which one of you guys is the alligator, but somebody's gotta be the alligator to slap down and say, you guys either pay the money or we turn it off.
Well, X amount of times.
So the way it works, and this is what we have a problem with in town. Basically, you have a window. I don't know if I should say this out loud. But you do have a window to get your bills caught up or to get them paid.
Right.
If you're not paid within that window, you get a notice. If you're not paid in that, after that notice, it comes to me to make the authorization to shut you off.
Which is a tough spot to put you in, but you've gotta be the alligator too.
I have zero problems shutting someone off. Zero.
Which is good.
Because I believe wholeheartedly that you're a big person. I'm not gonna say boy or girl, I'm a person. You have the responsibility to take on the property, you should have the responsibility to pay the bills.
Well, and that's just a question. I just didn't know if we were getting all of that to make the funding work on
There are some
stuff.
legal things that say we can't shut them off in the middle of winter.
Right. Understood on that.
And the people that are perpetual problems know that.
Just like they know that the town doesn't want to get in a lawsuit anyway. Everyone's gonna push back. The town's gonna eventually have to just take it on the nose and go to court over it.
We're gonna have to
Do it.
You're gonna have to.
That's just my opinion on it. I get it. We've got budgets, we've got all these things, but like you say, if we don't start actually acting upon it.
It's like this city ordinance now, if we just sit and debate about hiring a third party or somebody going and doing it, it is gonna be 6 months down the road, and that's where your legal problems are going to start because you guys have enforced the law. But if you don't put it into place in the next, time frame, the judge will rule in the other favor because you guys implemented it, but have never implemented it.
Well, we can do what we need to right away and still get a third party.
Yes, but it needs to start or else you guys will get that lawsuit and you will lose.
I'm gonna. use property across the street. I can't go to Stewart and say, fix it now.
You can put a something out there. The rest of us will go just him if we
I'm
need to.
just saying, I can't. And now, if Stewart adds to the problem, then I can go and say, now fix it.
Well, he's very fully aware that he is in violation.
He's not actually in
It's not in
violation
violation until something changes on the property.
because you can't legislate someone into violation.
What's already there.
Oh,
So
He adds to it.
So that's where
Because
the
this
pictures are
event-
coming in.
that's why the pictures are important.
Okay,
That's why you take pictures.
Do you
So I
guys do
can't-
anything about it now?
If he goes and moves anything on the property, he's now made changes. Now he's in violation.
Everybody can get sent a notice, but,
Which is part of the reason why I said what I said about. I would like the people of this community to have enough pride to start changing it themselves.
Yep.
So that we don't have to be the police. We shouldn't have to go out and tell you to clean up your property. We shouldn't have to tell you to go dump your trash. It shouldn't have to happen that way. Now,
you shouldn't have to tell us to pay our bills either or send out a notice, but it is part of the job.
You're always gonna have somebody.
you're gonna have those that are gonna need to be. Whether we like it or not, they're gonna need to be. So, as far as the nuisance ordinance. Basically,
You just need documentation that you guys have sent out a letter to even everybody, whether it's right in the PO box or not. Or else you guys will lose a lawsuit. I know that in my line of business that I do, if I don't document
right.
everything, I can show them a text message, that doesn't count. But if it is a letter and it is there, then you guys are pretty much covered that everybody has received notice of this ordinance. You can't say Facebook because I don't have Facebook,
no, it's,
but
we have to notify according to the state statute, which we have done.
okay,
And notification according to state statute is posted in a public place for,
You have to post for 3 different public places. Oh,
You don't have to mail.
nope,
no.
Oh. Would it help to mail it?
make it now.
we can do that. It'll probably end up in the trash before it gets read.
Mm.
but at least you have documentation. I mean, if you,
Do certified mail.
then
some
you're,
of
then
the
you're
worst ones, you could do a hand delivered and have them sign it and give it back. I mean, say,
Yeah.
this is an ordinance specifically, and I hate to tell you this, but this is for you. And your property. I would be madder than heck if I was trying to sell this house over here. And that house on the corner, as soon as you pass it, there's no way I'm buying that house because that's what I have to drive past every single day. No way.
So let's talk about what we originally were starting. What, you guys are the town. I mean, we're your council. What do you want? Do you want a third party or do you want just us to do it?
I've talked to Charles about this and I know of the third party he is looking into. This third party is nervous about it because they would need to remain completely anonymous. That would be the hard part.
It would never happen. They'd have to do.
That's, yes, so the one he is talking to. Yes, that would, so you want to pull from like a completely different town. I don't know the costs associated with that, but that would maybe be a better option, but
I have a question with that being brought to light. Who's authorized somebody to go out and look for a third party?
he's just asking a question.
Investigate.
Yeah, he's just
You
asking a
look, you
question.
don't have to hire.
Yeah, he hasn't hired anybody.
The thing is, we were voted in this position to represent the town. I have no problem approaching anybody. If I've got to go approach some individual, be these people we're talking about, I can do it. We do not need a third party.
Yes.
I can do that.
I just can tell you.
I can handle going and approaching somebody. I just think this third party deal is a joke. And like I say, we were not voted in as council members, and we all ought to have enough guts to go approach somebody.
Agreed.
which is, I don't care on this town, for me, I don't care who does it, just we ought to follow through, but if you guys need help, I'm more than happy to go knock doors, nobody knows me, I got a thick arse, they can chew it, I don't care.
Well, unfortunately. a lot
approached
of this
one
is
person on it.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem.
I think one thing about it, you guys say you're afraid of a lawsuit. What if somebody's walking down that sidewalk and that roof comes down? Is he gonna be liable or is the city gonna be liable?
Both,
Well, they both.
or both.
Well, who are they gonna go out to, where they can get the money?
So
150,000% the property owner.
that roof is actually on the property, on the side, on the city side.
Not over the
It'll be
sidewalk.
city, it'll be that property.
And it wouldn't matter if it was over city sidewalk because it is a private property structure with a fee private property.
Yeah, but I think it's good for us to have something noted that we've given a notice saying this needs to be fixed. That would still help us.
Whether that's just a letter you gather hand delivering or what, but I think if you guys are scared of a lawsuit, that will get you out of a lot of hot water.
I ain't scared of a lawsuit.
Well,
I'm a little nervous about paying for one until we get the money back, because the people that are gonna lose the lawsuit won't pay for the bills either, so that's the problem.
They're not even paying to get it fixed.
We'll be stuck with the bill either way,
right,
and I don't know if it's worth the town going and spending 15 grand on a lawsuit to get somebody to clean up their property that they're not gonna clean up anyway.
it is worth it, Colby, because we've implemented this. If you want, okay, here's the problem I see as an outsider, and I know I'm the outsider, so I don't have a lot to say. I wasn't born and raised here. But I can tell you right now, if I didn't know this community with me and my wife, I'd think this is a meth town.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, there's no way I'm moving here. There is no way. And the problem is, we've got all these kids that are homeschooled, so that's taking funding out of the school. But my biggest fear is if we don't grow a little bit, I'm not saying you guys do what you gotta do to grow, but we've gotta have growth or else the school shuts down, the community is dead. It is a ghost town. And so that's why this right here is that important. It is worth a $15,000 lawsuit if we can do it.
If that's the way the town feels, then we'll go do it. And when we have $250,000 in legal fees,
You up my taxes, I'll pay it.
we can't up taxes. We don't have that ability.
Well, then what do we do at that point?
Exactly, we go bankrupt.
Well, at that point,
So
well, we're gonna go
you're
bankrupt
a
anyway,
banker,
though.
let's talk about this.
Okay,
I have $630,000 in the bank right now.
okay,
We have a almost $1.5 million budget.
okay,
How does that add up?
okay. Well, here's the other side of that, Colby. If you don't start collecting some revenue, whether it is through these minor little minuscule fees, you're never gonna increase that. And we gotta have a little skin in the game too, as a town, to be able to do this. We cannot just sit on our back and say, I'm scared of a lawsuit.
I didn't
It's a-
say I was scared of a lawsuit. I said
What are you saying to
I
me?
can't, the town cannot afford the payment of a lawsuit. We don't have the money.
Okay, but at that point in time though, Colby, we've got to still implement what we have put in place.
Okay. I want you to tell me how this works, because you're the banker.
Okay, you gotta have skin in the game, and sometimes you have to put your neck on the line
Come look,
to make it happen.
come look.
I think we're getting off topic.
No, we're on topic.
Okay,
No, we're not.
That's our book balance right there.
okay, you're at 631,000.
Yeah.
Okay, we're halfway through the year, are we not?
No, we're at the beginning of the year,
Okay,
beginning of the fiscal year.
where's our accounts receivable? This is just book balance as of today,
Correct.
okay?
So I can spend all that we are counseled to have a year's worth of operating expenses on the books.
Okay,
That is less than a year. That is
Okay.
less than 6 months.
okay,
Because our yearly budget, what we approved, 1
so how, here's my question as a banker, how did we approve 1.5 if we knew we didn't have the money?
we have to.
What do you mean we have to?
This is an excess. This is what we have in our bank.
Okay, so you're fighting with me right now for the same thing I'm telling you though, Kobe. Is if you're scared of $15,000
One point.
lawsuit, but we're approving a bill that is more than what we can generate anyway, you're already into that lawsuit.
We're generating this much.
Okay,
But if that generation dries up or goes haywire, if we don't get all that, it has to come out of here.
okay, now tell me where this is coming from. How are we?
Okay, hold on. We're gonna do a point of order on this. We're off topic of what we were discussing.
Okay.
I appreciate your comment. I'm not trying to argue with you there, but we're not on. You were only supposed to discuss whether we're getting third party or not.
I did not acknowledge your point.
I know you don't.
Yes, outwardly.
You know, I've lived here for 70 years. We're talking about what I'm getting out of this. We want our community beautified. Well, one thing about it, we as residents of this town, why don't we get off our butt and go tell some of these, hey, you need help cleaning up your place? Or like Councilman Harmon said, I'll go tell them. We're getting exactly, Brad, clear off what we need to do properly. I mean, if we want our community cleaned up, then let's get together and get with them people that ain't cleaning up, say, hey, you need help, we'll help you clean it up. There ain't none of us ashamed of helping somebody clean up their property that needs help. But we don't need to talk about lawsuits and all this other crap's gonna cost us money, when all we gotta do is get together and say, hey, we want our community to look good. I take pride on what I do around my property.
Why does the town of Cokeville need to act like an HOA?
But that's the.
Don't bring up HOA.
That's what spurs it though, is to get the community involved, cause for me, like Glenna Walker behind my house, I knew she needed some help, I went and helped clean up, I spent a whole afternoon, helped clean up her backyard, cause she needed it, right? I'm not saying she didn't ask, but I just knew, and so I asked her if she wanted some help, it happened, but sometimes it may take this notice that we go tell somebody to force somebody to say, hey guys, I need some help too, and then the neighbors can band together at that point, but I'm
not saying we don't acknowledge the fact that there's a problem and inform that there's a problem.
and that's what I'm getting at. All
What I'm saying
we
is that
gotta
I
do.
don't think we need to go to lawsuit land. I think that is,
Are we assuming it's gonna end up that? That's what I'm.
I think that's,
Is that real?
there's some people that are gonna go that way.
Okay,
There are some.
Because we've had this
okay.
before. There's some people that, and to be quite honest, some of the people are the worst offenders.
But at that point though,
So
you've gotta hammer it home.
what I'm saying is, it's not proper for the town to just go straight into lawsuit land. We should avoid that at all costs. At all costs.
But you're not saying that, Colby.
I am.
If you hand out a notice that says this is the actual ordinance, this is what we've gotta do, what can your neighbors, can the community help put this together? Can you guys put, maybe a day where you bring in a couple big dumpsters? I know it's hard on the budget, but bring in a couple big dumpsters, say this is the day the town's beautification committee or whatever. Bring your stuff to these dumpsters. We will take care of it. We will dump it. The town will cover the cost on a dumpster or something like that. That's happened in other communities that I've lived
So
in.
did Idlewide,
Every spring
Yeah.
offers us a free dump days.
yeah,
That would
Okay.
be perfect.
And the town does not take advantage of it.
It's every, it's
Is
the
it-
first Saturday every month.
no.
Well, it's free.
Yeah.
It was like, they brought them,
This was when they brought them.
They actually said free dump day. You could take any.
It was like a week.
But tires and batteries.
Like a week.
And I didn't know about it. I haven't heard about it. I
So
thought,
that already happens every year, every spring. Idlewide.
but that might be something that when we hand out these notes, we can say, this is happening. Here it is, but we've talked to you each month for the last whatever. But this is how we can help you as a community. We're bringing this in. I'm just saying, you still have to follow your ordinance. Otherwise, why am I gonna pay my sewer bill? What's the big deal if I'm just gonna threaten to sue the town, I'm just saying you still gotta follow through regardless of the lawsuit coming.
It'd be a rough few years, but
That's all right. I'm gonna go knock on every door this week.
I think the ordinance just went into effect, because you guys gave it a 30-day notice
Right.
last time, so it just went into effect 4 days ago. I don't remember when the bills go out.
yeah,
Do they go in first of the month,
end of the month.
end of the month? It probably would be worth it. Even if it's 10 cents more for every bill, to mail out a copy of the ordinance to everybody.
It's in effect.
And put it in there that it's in effect.
That'd be huge.
And until the decision is made, third party, whatever party,
It doesn't matter.
we have two capable people that can go knock on doors. And that are getting paid by the town to enforce that stuff. There are gonna be people that complain and whine and whatever else, but it's just like anything else. It's just like everybody that's complained and whined to me when I've told them your registration on your vehicle's expired. You need to get it fixed. And they all complain to me when I say that, because some past people haven't ever done anything about it. If we're gonna start this, now's the time to start. So that we can have it ready, because part of that ordinance is weeds. And I'll admit that I was bad at that this year. I had a neighbor come and take some weeds off, and I thought, holy smokes, that Roundup worked good. And then I found out that the neighbor came and took weeds because it was interfering with some old lady sitting on a bench. I felt like crap. Because that was my problem. Somebody else picked it up. I went and sprayed Roundup more in my garden, make sure that those weeds died. Because that was my job, and Officer Stocking's job is to enforce ordinances that need to be enforced. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't have discretion. He doesn't have discretion. But we're gonna start enforcing this stuff. That let us start enforcing. And first step for me, let's get everybody notified whether they throw that bill away or not. We can say that on August 30th, we mailed notifications to everybody. And then I know that, so that when it goes to court and the judge says, has anybody, everybody, we know. We gave them 3 warnings, because that's what I document. Before I cite anybody for little stuff, I usually give them at least 3 warnings, and then it's like, okay, you don't listen, you don't listen. Come to court. Maybe this will make you listen. We wrote it in the ordinance, what the procedure is.
Yes.
So let's follow.
They've got their opportunities to make their change.
Let's follow it. Don't, not a building inspector. But the ordinance isn't written for a building inspector. We don't need a building inspector for this ordinance. Do we need a building inspector for Mike Kelly's new addition? Maybe, that's not me.
You're gonna need one at the end of that, I'm sure of that.
That's not me. But can I drive down the road and see that the broken windows are on the businesses? Is that in violation of our ordinance? Great, I can deal with that. Whether the 2x4 is 16 inches or 16 and a half inches, don't ask me. The electrical, don't ask me, because I can tell you the house I'm living at, nobody inspected that electrical, because it would never pass,
Ours either.
ever. I'm asking you, so that we don't have to keep talking about this every month. We've talked about it for 6 months.
Yeah.
It's in effect. Let's start putting it out there so it can be in effect.
Thanks, Eric.
I don't have a problem going taking pictures.
Joey,
Thank you.
will you send the ordinance out with the bills?
Well,
Yeah.
that's, I was gonna ask, how would you feel about doing a door hanger on everybody's door instead of putting it in the mail?
But put it in the mail and
Yeah, put it in the mail. That makes it legal.
They'll say
Certified.
they never got it.
We'll start by putting it in the mail
Okay.
and then I can do that.
Eric. And if you need me as a councilman, I'll be with you.
And I will as the mayor.
Listen, I'm not afraid.
I'll go with you.
I can,
There's, you know,
maybe, yeah, maybe my wife, if I have to knock on our door.
I don't think that,
I'm my own door, that Davis.
He's afraid of me too.
So, but I think we've passed it. There is enough people in town that are concerned about it. But let's start.
so I think that's a good play. That, you know, that gets the ball rolling right there. I think that's a good idea. Do we gotta make a motion on that, put that in the,
no,
No, I can authorize that. I think.
okay.
Yeah.
That's all I'm getting at. That's all my complaint. Just make people aware.
we appreciate your guys' feedback.
Colby, one thing I would like to give the council credit for though, I think you guys working in town, I think the streets are better right now than they've been for 5 years. I know you've got some other problems, but I drive around a lot, all the streets, and I think considering the last 5 years, I think you've improved a lot, especially Tiger Drive and a couple of these other places. That might not be what you wanted, because you couldn't afford to bring in a complete paving outfit for the whole streets. But I think who's ever patching them and fixing them up, I think are better than they've been for 5 years, and that's from outside
Thank you.
coming through town.
And I better say meth town, that's not exactly what I meant, but what I meant was if I drove the highway, that's what I would see. You never, if there's not something to pull you down. Cause really, to be honest with you, most of Main Street's pretty too. It's, you know, like right here in this corner that it starts, right? But I mean, there's just some things that, you know, that do need to be addressed as far as the ordinance, and I think that's the best way possible, just so that nobody has an excuse.
I would say this. If you look at your own property, I'll bet you'll find something that's in violation of that.
Oh, I got a lot.
Just so everybody's aware. We want to cast stones at the obvious ones. But every one of us are guilty of the same problem. To a degree or another.
Me too. So if anybody can help me get rid of that thistle, you're welcome to come help.
That's one thing that I personally am concerned about is. Yeah, I can find some things on my own property that need addressed, but I have a hard time going and saying, sorry, Mike, but your property looks like crap.
It does right now. I got yarrow for yard. Grass, it's yarrow.
I'm willing to go and do this. We'll send out the ordinance and the bills. Willing to back our chief and our officer 100%. I'm a little, again, leery about the lawsuit land. I don't want to go down that road if we don't have to. But that being said, I think that it's time to put this nuisance thing to bed and just get it to work.
Mike, Ashby, thanks for your comments.
Yeah, oh, sorry, I know we beat this, but there is a YouTube video of my Grandpa Birch came across randomly this May. He sent it to me because I happened to be walking down the street at the time. He came across it looking for a Coca Miracle something. It's an old couple that films little towns they drive through. It's like 5 minutes long and they were very polite, but I sent it to my committee and I said, what do you think? And they're like, darn it, it's not something you want. They're like, oh, back in the building, looks like they used that, but where do they get groceries? Like, that's it? Okay, it was just very, not something we want to hear. So in another 5 years, this is a outside perspective. We would like to hear something different. So this is super important and we are free labor here. We have a committee. We're gonna organize stuff. Please use us.
Yeah.
Like we want it to be different. People in Mountain View were shocked that I was moving back here. I will just tell you that. They were shocked. They're like, what is there?
The committee husbands are willing to help.
Brady did a really good job, huh, Bentley? He was voluntold to come help us. Anyway, like, I don't want that to be my hometown, so I think it's important on a very high level, so. Anyway, thank you. We beat that to the whole.
I will say this, the reason why I'm sitting up here today is because of 8 years ago when we moved here. This was a different town. Than it is today. And I think there's some positives that have gotten better, but there's some A lot of negatives are coming about in the last 8 years.
And a lot of other business 8 years ago.
That is true.
You had 3 coal mines, you had a coke plant, you had a
Yeah.
power plant running full force. You don't have that now.
There's some things that we're losing. But there's also some things that we're gaining that'll hopefully,
But we gotta capitalize on.
Right.
That's the kicker. They'll be capitalizing when the iron's hot.
So
I really think that. What Ashley and her committee is doing. Should be inspiring to the town.
They did a great job out there on that stuff.
Because- They have done it completely and totally on their own accord.
you know, it's obvious we all love Cokefield and will be here. And I like the comments because, you know, in a way, it brings us together. And that's what it's gonna take, as a council, as councilpeople. I think we need to work together. And I think if we do work together in a positive way, we can get things done. It's gonna take some work, yes. But, I think with what Eric put in, I think let's got the ball rolling. Let's follow that ball and keep it going.
I agree. I mean, and you know, there's a lot of us that aren't from Cokeville. Colby's not from Cokeville. I grew up in Lavarge. Larry and I retired to Cokeville. And, you know, because I remember what Cokeville used to be. And, you know, and so, you know, we just need to work together.
I think we're still there. Like Cokeville
I do
is
too.
an awesome town. It is gorgeous and I don't want people to think that I'm just complaining because I really love this town. Otherwise I would have been in Evanston because driving an hour every day one way is. Can be
But the
a chore.
reality is we are on that precipice of either direction.
Yeah, we're just, you know. I think we're making the right moves anyway.
Thanks.
Mike, do you have anything for public works?
We also had Slim come down and look, take pictures. He was there about 5 minutes. Said everything was good. And also, we'd like to have you ask the commissioners if they could allow Wayne to help us with the road going to the rifle range. It needs some work. Thinking about even rerouting. But we probably need to see if the commissioner would allow him to do that.
I abstain from this.
Well,
Okay,
I understand.
I would like to see what your thought process is on that, Mike. To see what it's gonna entail. So I can go to the commissioners and form.
That's fine.
That being said. If it's all kind of pretty cut and dry, then yeah, I'm going to ask. Whether they're willing to give, I don't know.
That's all we do is ask.
Gives you a more realistic.
I live right there underneath it,
Like, uh,
and I can tell you, there's hardly a day goes by, I don't hear somebody shooting.
Oh,
I don't know who's buying all the ammo, but
They got more money than I got.
I mean, I sit right underneath it. And if I go out and take care of my dog every evening or sometimes in the morning, somebody's there, so I know it's used.
It is used. But I think we just need to. I just need to go before them so that I can go with what expectations we have.
Okay.
But other than that. If it's gonna cost us a lot of money to get this done, we might start with what we have. Deal with what we got. For the time being.
This is just from the start of the dump road, up, right?
If you've got.
Just to it, or any
No,
of it?
yeah, just two of
Just to it, right? Yeah, I know, it has that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I have an idea of what you're talking about, but I want to make sure I'm on the same page.
I have one question for the city. Who owns the corner across where the Wagyu sign is? Who owns between you and the highway?
Wayne,
Wait,
Wayman's.
Wayman owns all that ground right in there,
The Wagyu
from
sign?
your house to the road, the highway.
Yep.
When it's due.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Good. Eric?
I don't have much. I think out of the chair, but. I did go last week. And pick up a new canine. So. I know we're kind of getting late,
You got time.
if you would like. I could go get her, bring her out here, kind of show you what she can do with it, but hopefully. Sure, I'll get stage fright when I bring her out, but. If you guys would like me to bring her and grab her.
Just put up our trucks for.
Trying to give you a warning, just. In case.
Remember, 3 mornings. That's 3 sniffs.
No, nobody's afraid of dogs, right? Because she has a little bit of energy.
We'll take a 3-minute break while you go and
Okay.
gather it out, if that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. We can both of that.
So, and I move that we take a 3-minute break.
I can go. I.
Yeah. Mike,
Yes.
this is my sweetheart. My husband, this is the admin, he says happy hours, happy service. Larry, so he's taking care of the drive, was last week? We like that step back.
We're
You know, we didn't get us used to being he's on house. So they started. Yeah. But yeah, there's no city. Right. But yeah, so that's it.
You got it.
I haven't.
That's how I am.
I just don't know where to go here. We could, it's online and it's just, yeah, wherever you can, it's so easy for, it's so party. Party. It's pulling down, I know, we just need to go walk down this. Billboards, they're talking. Sorry to get this. We can just like go. Throw away. Yeah, you're right. I, that's pretty true. They're not gonna pull that out. You're right. Wendy's variety. Yep, Wendy's variety. Yes. Go turn it.
Say that again.
You like get it.
Where did you have to go?
Yes, so I was gonna find all the text, but now we're the day you just mow it down. Yeah, yeah, but that's something just asked, so I'm like, it doesn't. She said, I just called it, but.
Yeah, bad guy. She's a passive.
Bring us back in. Second. All in favor?
So like Brad said, she is a passive, so she is female, she's a passive indicator. She is 3 years old. She's a little bit older than the other ones were. But I like her energy and that, so I'll see if she'll do what she's supposed to now with everybody loving her and all that. So. Pardon me.
Whoa.
So there is stuff hidden on there. And that is actually a marijuana stand. Which she wasn't putting on out there because the county doesn't. Because some people don't do it, so. That's only in 3 days, 4 days worth.
That's pretty good.
So it'll probably take me another month and a half or 2 months before she's certified. Just because we have to work together. She's not the same as Thomas, and I keep thinking that she is. So I gotta get over that stuff that Thomas will do. She won't do yet, so. That's very exciting. But this is what I went to Washington for Canada, and right here you talk to. It was about 10 miles from Canada.
You're that close, so you can see the border. It's Canada.
It was 2 days.
He saw them now, he's.
One big driving. Reminded me that I hate Seattle.
No.
Took me an hour to go 16 miles. So.
You got through fast.
Yeah.
So.
So do you have to rotate? Like, you don't, she's not active, so you just do the training from it, right?
Yes. Thomas, since we brought her home. He sat around a while I was gone. And now he's actually hurt. She's pulled the muscles for you. Being too excited. So there will be some times that I probably bring both dogs out. Because he is certified and I have to train with both of them.
Okay,
And then, is she certified?
not yet.
Not yet. So probably about 2 months before you can get her certified.
How does that all work anyway?
So we go through the NPCA, which is National Police Canine Association. So the certification, you have to search 4 cars in 10 minutes. There's like 2 eyes on the cars, and then you have to do 4 rooms in like 15 minutes. And they have to find it. You have to say where that they found it and be right. Because if the dog is doing some things, you kind of misread it sometimes. So that's where we have to get used to each other so that I can see her behavior change. And then once that's done, then you're certified. So the certification actually is only about a half hour long.
Mm.
From start to finish, but I probably end up having to drive to Powell or somewhere else or just. I have to have 2 judges do it.
Okay.
So, but it'll be a couple months. So that's all I had. So I'll go put it up and see if I can. Let me move on.
Take your drugs with me.
Take you to Gosh, you got the coolest watch ever.
I did tell her I had to go get drugs earlier, so it's kind of a weird conversation.
I smell.
So can I.
So I like.
From there? Yeah, oh yeah, I smelled it.
Yeah.
I see a lot out.
When you walk in, it's like take drugs.
I haven't heard any shot.
Like that.
I hope it never happens.
I'd rather him get sprayed by his stomach than deal with the drugs all day.
Yeah,
Marijuana smells like skunk.
yes, it does.
Everybody decided to grow hemp. That was a interesting year of my life.
So. As far as administration. There's a. Helium plant going here in Suffolk County. As the current map reads, we are not in the impact area. The county has requested that we be added to the impact area. With that being said, we have to go with a shovel-ready infrastructure project if we get to ask for it. And in light of recent communications across the county and with what's going on. And some of the needs we have. I think it would behoove us to go with the project of adjusting our sewer plant to be able to process sewage and discharge to basically private lands. We could do a couple things with that. It opens us up to be able to process a lot more, a lot faster. We can get rid of the water and some of the local ranchers and farmers could utilize that water to irrigate with. And it saves us some power, some wear and tear on our plant. Helps us to kind of prolong that system. If we can get that in place, but there's some work that needs to be done, some pumps that need to be put in. And it would cost a pretty decent chunk of change. Reason why this is kind of important is if you're not aware, the majority of North Lincoln County is on a septic system. And septic pumpers have nowhere to take their sewage. They pump it. They've been hauling it clear to Marbleton.
Yep.
And Marbleton is now at the point where they're saying, we don't want it anymore. And kind of made it a joke and didn't go over very well. Said we've been taking started a lot of crap all along, we might as well really take it. But we have the ability to take septic. Right now, it's kind of slower because we have some other things we gotta work out with the numbers. Hopefully with the sleeve going in, it'll get better and we'll just clean it up a little better. But if we could add that other option as well, that would really open the doors. For those wondering, our current ordinance says we would charge $90,000 for dosage. Couple of the septic pumpers were in a meeting up there in Star Valley that way too. I asked for estimates on numbers so I could do some math. And they were thinking that if in their peak times, they could take in about 10,000 gallons a day to dump. And if we took in 10,000 gallons a day for 120 days, we could pay the remainder of our sewer loan off in a year. So financially wise, I think it would help us in the long run to be able to take it, but there is some work I think we ought to put into it to make it so it's not becoming a maintenance nightmare on us in 5 years instead of 25 years. And part of that is being able to add that discharge to the local agriculture.
That helium plant, that's the plant you're gonna build just outside of the barge, right?
Yeah.
In Sublette. So I thought,
And at first, Sublette wasn't gonna be able to go to the deal, but the state made arrangements for them to be able to take it now. So we may or may not get added, but if we do get added, I think that is probably our shovel ready project that we should take. But I would like the council's input on this.
What's the cost of the add-on, the water pump thing you're talking about?
That is an up in the air question still. Early estimates were about 640,000. But based off of what we've had in past projects, when the estimates came in, our estimates were about half of what they should have been. But I would say total cost, if we were to do the whole thing, would probably be 1.2 million. I don't think we'll have to approach a bill for it all. I think that there's some serious interest in be able to take that water to some of the agriculture, and I think we could get them to come up with some of the funding and do kind of a partnership between the town, the county, and the landowners that would like to utilize that water.
Well, this is a county-wide thing. It'd be beneficial to us to approach the county on it, see what they'd be willing to put for.
Yeah, so there's constantly ongoing discussions because they're trying to figure out where they can dispose of this stuff. We've taken a couple of loads, I believe, right, Mike?
Just one that I know.
And part of our problem that we have with taking it is our current access road goes through a pivot. And when that pivots across the road, we can't get a truck down there. So there's some other discussions going on about maybe moving that road and following the rivers. And we would probably have to ask the county to help us to build that road as well. But there's kind of quite a bit of lot to go into it, but initially I think we need to ask for some money. It's still up in the air about how much, but I've got some discussions with our engineers to get some estimates together for us. So we can go prepared if we go to this meeting. Over this meeting.
How soon's the meeting?
Well, it's supposed to be tomorrow, but they canceled it. And we're back.
This is all the same info you just read to us, or you talked to us last month, right?
Part of it.
Part of it, yeah. Yeah. The part of this new is the impact, the potential impact fees that we get.
What's the remaining balance on the loan?
Almost $500,000, I think.
So it can pay, but if we were continuing to do that, it could pay itself off,
In a year to 2 years.
even the other pump, or the, right?
Yeah, if, what?
The
So what's,
infrastructure, we're gonna need any.
yeah, what's the struggle is they probably won't let us take another loan out on our sewer plant until this was paid for.
Oh.
So that's why we're trying to get all interested parties to the table to say, hey, let's pull in some dollar and get this.
Have you talked with Todd and you see if there's any grant monies out there available for?
We already got.
We've just got, we just got the SLIB grant,
So,
so
grant, okay, well, I can't get another one.
we probably can't get another one until that was squared away and done with, but, that's where we're. And these projects we take the impact have to be infrastructure related, basically. So. The only thing that we could probably realistically say would impact is the sewage. Because even if they're having porta potties up there building, they gotta have some place to dump their. Just gotta have some infrastructure. Not to mention the impact of they had houses or whatever in rural communities. There's that section that would have to be coming through. Now, if we do this, it's not gonna be something that happens this summer. It's gonna be probably 2 to 3 year project to get it all.
How much extra can we take now?
It's kind of, once we get the sleeve in the sewer line, we should be able to have quite a bit extra. But right now, because of the water that we're taking into our sewer line, it's thinking, getting us through the winter. We have a month, maybe, hopefully.
Yeah.
We should be able to take quite a bit. That's sealed off. We're taking these plugs into our sewer.
So where are we on percent of full? What would we take in right now?
Most days it's about 60%.
Okay, so we've got room before we even have to put that in.
Yeah, and when that goes in, I'm hoping.
Probably able to take some stuff now just to get some funds.
We do take some. The problem is access, so if Fred's watering his pivot down there. The guys call and say, hey, can I come down? And they go down there and they look and go, oh, the pivot's across the road, so they go somewhere else.
I see.
So the easiest thing for right now to be able to remedy some of the funds coming in is to. Which would cost nothing, but somebody on the road grader. A few trucks hauling some crap. And building through all around.
Doing it right.
And initial conversations are. They're wanting to do that. Which save us a lot.
Could you sweeten the deal by saying you bring in the gravel and the road grader, we'll give you first priority to the water to some of these guys?
There's really only about 2 people that could take it anyway.
Be Fred and Jason.
Tired.
Like it's-
I can try to Jason. I think
That's a good extra third to have.
I didn't think about, I don't know if Jason would water anything over there or not. Red Mike. I know Titan side was just the one. With that being said, I think there's some potential for us to chase some stuff about. What I'm leery about though is our plan was built to last a while. When it does require maintenance, it's not cheap. Last maintenance, it was somewhere at 60,000 if I'm not mistaken. I don't. So. If we can. Prolong the life of our processing plant as well as helping some other people. I think it's kind of a win-win situation for a lot of things. We're working on numbers. One thing too, I will mention is last summer they came. How long have you been here, Ben? Like, you were just new. Look over here. A little over a year. So about a year ago. EPA, I think it was. In working place. EPA. Yeah, DEQ came and toured our facility and they actually encouraged us to. Put in this system if we could swing it simple. It would give us options that we don't. Go ahead.
Speaking of that, sorry, but that agreement that we made with them to get things cleared up, we have most of it cleared up, so. As long as we're in compliance the next little bit, we're cleared off that agreement.
Which gets us off the line of this.
We've been on there for a while.
2017.
Yeah.
Had a lot of coal and I dropped it.
We didn't have stuff. We were lucky that some of us weren't in jail because of some of the previous people.
Yeah, you're right.
Failures. So, that being said, if the council has any objections to us chasing that, I'd like to hear it.
I'm fine with it.
Proceed.
Yeah, I agree.
Town's gotta do what you gotta do.
That's right.
Sounds like that's the road to go.
And it sounds beneficial. Eventually,
Well, there's always negatives there.
there is.
Yeah, I think.
I want to commend, Mary here. I see we got some starvation money on
Yeah.
this thing. That don't come around very often. So keep up the good work, Eric. So what? You got some starvation money right there.
I don't wanna know.
Without saying too much. I had a couple run-ins with some Star Valley people and. I think they have a different view of where the restrooms are. So,
Yeah. Well, we're taking that crap, we might as well take it literally.
one guy found out,
Go down there.
one guy found out it was $350 to do it.
Well, and
We go out, be out back more often, so.
We're not gonna get caught with our pants down.
That's what I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
There's two people.
well, I mean, you just couldn't make it or?
No.
It was a true decision.
Yes, he couldn't make it to the building or to the camper trailer that was on the back.
well,
Interesting.
So.
I wonder what his yard looks like. Sorry. Lot of funny stuff.
That, is there anything else that you need to bring up?
Make the motion, we adjourn.
now a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is it going?
That's 11.